you've gone through the menopause, but your hot flushes and night sweats won't quit. Or perhaps they did, maybe they eased off years ago, but now they've suddenly returned. Does this sound familiar to you? Let's take a look at what you need to know about hot flushes after the menopause. What's considered normal, why they can persist, and when they might be a sign that something else is going on. Officially, you're considered post-menopause after 1 year without any periods. We tend to say 2 years because over the years, in our experience, quite a large number of women do get the odd period back in between year 1 and year 2. But many women think too that once the menopause is over, that's it, that the symptoms will all basically disappear. But that's not always the case. Let's look at why your hot flushes and night sweats can continue or suddenly come back. So number one is hormone fluctuations. And again, the minute you hit post-menopause, your hormones don't just suddenly stop working or being produced. There can be a small amount of hormones produced for many years after periods have stopped. And these can still fluctuate a little bit over time. And that in itself, even though the hormonal action may be very subtle, it might be enough to trigger hot flushes and night sweats. It can be lifestyle factors, and we know that really simple things that you do on a daily basis can have a really big impact on hot flushes and night sweats. So it's things like alcohol, spicy foods, probably the number one culprit is caffeine. It can be stress, and it can just be an extra warm environment. You know, you can be outside, it's quite cold, you go into the supermarket and suddenly you're blasted by all this heat, and that can be enough to trigger a hot flush or a night sweats. And don't forget, it can also be dehydration. That's a really biggie. Your weight and metabolism can be a big factor too. We know that as we get older, we tend to put on weight, our metabolism gets that little bit more sluggish. But if you are overweight, the estrogen that you do have can get stored in the fat tissue, and that can regulate how much estrogen is stored and released. So in that way, you can get a natural waves of estrogen that can trigger flushes and sweats. It can be physical, it can be psychological. So it can be just the fact that you are getting very poor sleep. It could be that you're just totally fatigued. It could be that you're suffering from a lot of stress and anxiety or panic attacks. And we know that these all are major triggers of hot flushes and night sweats too. So what happens if they suddenly come back? You've been hot flush, night sweat free maybe for a good number of years, and suddenly they come back. We get asked this a lot. Is it a hormonal change? It's unlikely. If your hot flushes have stopped and they come back, very often there is another reason. So one of them can be medical, and we know that post-menopause medical issues like thyroid imbalance, heart disease, diabetes, all of these can appear or start to develop, and they will all cause hot flushes and night sweats. It can also be medication. So especially if you're on a mix of medication, check the side effects to see if hot flushes or sweats are one of the known side effects. It could also be to do with circulation. Your blood vessels can weaken. They can become a little bit more unresponsive, if you like, and that can trigger your hot flushes and sweats. But it could also possibly be to do with high blood pressure. So if this particular one, maybe just get your doctor to check your blood pressure. It could be a vitamin or mineral deficiency. We know vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency will cause hot flushes and sweats, and especially if you're getting really serious drenching from about mid-chest upwards, that is a really good indication that it may be a vitamin D deficiency. Just one really important thing here. If your flushes have gone and they come back, please get this checked out by your doctor. Don't just assume that your hormones have started up again, because in most cases it may be one of the things that I've just mentioned. And say that to the doctor, because from our experience, again, we know so many women go to the doctor with these particular symptoms, and the doctor just offers them HRT without checking anything further. It's really important, if you're vitamin D or B12 deficient or are developing diabetes or heart disease, these need investigating before you go any further. So this is a really important one here. So what else can you do as well, just to help in this whole scenario? Try and identify the triggers. So this is more for those of you when your symptoms are not easing off the further through the menopause and post-menopause, that you go, look at the triggers. Are you drinking a cup of coffee at 10 o'clock and then getting a really big hot flush at 10:30? Caffeine's probably your answer. So doing a little diary for a couple of weeks, writing down all the things that may be triggers, and then the time that you actually get a hot flush or a night sweat can be really helpful. And I had one lady, all she did was stop her after dinner cup of coffee and her night sweat stopped completely. So it can be something really, really simple and easy to do to sort this one. Reduce your stress. We know stress has a big impact on triggering hot flushes and night sweat. So it's the usual things like mindfulness, a little bit of meditation, your deep breathing, your relaxation techniques. They can be really helpful. Even if you're in the middle of a hot flush, it can help to just dampen symptoms down that little bit. Stay hydrated and remember the water. We know that dehydration will make your nervous system much more jumpy, much more reactive, and that in itself can trigger your hot flush or your night sweats. The other thing to look at is herbal support. The herb sage, which is in our registered product Menopause Sage tablets, can be really helpful at reducing hot flushes and night sweats. And this is a nice, easy one a day to take. I hope you found this one helpful. It's a question I get asked so many times. If any of you have had that, what did you do? What was it at the end of the day? Was it something like vitamin D deficiency or B12? Did you manage to sort it? Please share your stories. Have a lovely week. I'll see you soon.